Our shout out tonight to a brave and determined journalism teacher at a California high school who gave her students and her bosses a real-life lesson in how the First Amendment should work. The faculty advisor for the school newspaper at Bear Creek High School in Stockton, California, is Kathy Duffel.
I love my job. I love my students. I will always protect their right to free speech.
And she had to put her job on the line this year when her students came up with the story that the school administration most certainly did not want published.
We were sitting around pitching story ideas as we normally do, and one of the students pitched this story and said, you know, I've been hearing a lot about a girl named Caitlin on our campus, and she is a sex worker, and there's been some rumors about her, and maybe she would welcome the chance to set the record straight.
18-year-old Caitlin Fink agreed to be interviewed by the student paper's managing editor, Bailey Kirkaby.
When I first began writing this story, it was supposed to be just another profile of a student like we do every issue.
But Caitlin's story included how the senior had been working as a model for a porn agency, selling nude videos of herself and aspiring to become a stripper.
It wasn't even on my radar. For me, it was just another student profile that we were doing.
But then she received this threatening letter from the school superintendent after word quickly spread about what the student paper was up to.
That said that if we were to publish the story and not submit it for prior review to her, then I would be subject to disciplinary action up to and including dismissal.
What did you make of that?
I was shocked. I think I cried a little bit at first. I didn't understand the overreach.
But California is one of the 14 states in the country that limit unreasonable interference by administrators with student newspapers, and she sought help from the Student Press Law Center.
By then, things were getting pretty ugly. There were some intimidating factors at work, and I was feeling pretty uncomfortable at that point.
And what kinds of things were the intimidating factors, did you think?
One of them was to send a police officer who was waiting at my door for me one morning, questioning me about sex trafficking and distributing pornography to minors.
But Kathy Duffel did not back down.
A group of determined high schoolers in Stockton have published a feature article on a fellow student who works in the porn industry.
The story in the school paper, the Bruin Voice, described how Caitlin Fink considered her adult entertainment career as a job just like any other job.
As I'm sure everyone now sees, the content is not obscene in any way, and it's merely just showing the story of a young student at our school who is on her own, living her independent life, and having to navigate the world of the pornography industry. And I feel that that's an important story to tell.
And so far, the school has backed off its threat to fire Kathy Duffel.
I am still employed, yes.
Is that in question, though?
I think it's always a question.
She received support after national news coverage of the showdown, but most important to her is the reaction of her students.
She's been such an inspiration and a role model to everyone at school, not just our class, and I'm glad that she's still here.
And what is there inside of you that gave you this kind of gumption?
I think because this is not my first rodeo with the district, I have had some pretty knockdown, drag-out fights over the years. They've been hurtful, and so I still have something to prove, I think, to this district, that even after 33 years, me putting my job on the line means that I am serious about free speech, and I will always hold them accountable.
So our shout-out tonight to Kathy Duffel. Like many of us in this profession, my own career was launched at a high school newspaper in Highland Park, Illinois, the Shoreline. To this day, I remember and am thankful for all I learned from my journalism teacher, Dr. John Munsky. That's our program for tonight. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here next week.